How many of you would say that you know everything that's in the food you eat? Probably none of us would raise our hands to that, right? And to prove my point, since we love beef here in Nebraska, according to the Huffington Post, a single hamburger patty can contain beef from 100 different cows. My purpose today is for you, my audience, to understand how bad our labeling system is. In a lifestyle class I took, we examined our labeling system and how it is practically non-existent. This is why I feel that this topic is necessary to talk about, as it involves all consumers and the sustainability of our society. I will show you how bad our labeling system is through my main points, which are the problems of the labeling system, the cause of these problems, and then some solutions to this problem. But first, let's talk about the problems of our labeling system. When I go to the store, the only thing I look at on the label is how many calories are in the product. That's the only thing I understand, and that's a problem. As consumers, we don't know what we're truly buying past a calorie count. So the first problem is we don't understand the label. There's so much information that just seems to overwhelm us. And also, there can be some pretty big words on there sometimes that confuse us, which then causes the second problem, which is consumers not reading the label. According to Time, a study was performed by the University of Minnesota, and in the study there were 203 participants that were examined, and they examined them through an eye tracker device. And they looked at what they actually look at on a food label. And according to the participants, 33% of them said that they always look at the calorie count. But what the eye tracker found was that really only 9% of them looked at the calorie count, and 1% of them looked at other things such as trans fat, fat, and the ingredients. So we proved in a study that we don't even look at the label when, according to Fox News, 80% of Americans do look at the label. And then the third problem is that the manufacturers are hiding important nutritional facts from us. The way our labeling system is now, manufacturers do not have to put if the product has been genetically modified or not. And according to the Non-GMO website, which aims to ensure the safety of our food, they define a GMO as an organism that has been genetically modified from its original state. Some states have already passed a law that makes manufacturers put if it's been genetically modified or not, but there's only been 3, Vermont, Maine, and Connecticut. So we need to get it to a point where our whole country has to follow this law. So with all these problems, what's the cause? The cause of these problems is simply the manufacturers of the product. According to NutriData, which is responsible for nutrition services for the food industry, the manufacturer is responsible for following the regulations of the FDA for labels. They make the label, and the FDA doesn't even have to approve it. And this worries me as a consumer, to know that my health is in the hands of a company that doesn't even care about my health. All they care is about making profit. So this worries me. Now that we know the cause, let's look at some solutions. Now, lucky for us, there have already been some proposed changes to the FDA, and there's been 3 of them. The first one is the greater understanding of nutrition. This would require info on added sugars, and it would also update daily values for nutrition. The second one would be to update the serving size and new labeling requirements for certain package sizes. The way the label is now, they still have the serving sizes as they were 20 years ago, and that has changed. We definitely eat different from 20 years ago, so it would make it how we eat now. And then the second part of that, some packages are too big to just eat in one serving, so they would have to have a dual column of 2 nutrition facts labels. One would be per package and one would be per serving. And then the last proposed change was a refreshed design, and I have it for you. On the right is the original, what you're used to looking at when you go to buy food, and on the left is the proposed one. And they just simply change things around. They change the font, they make it bigger, they make things stick out to the consumer, such as the number of calories and how many servings there are per container. And then I think another solution that would be great for our food labels would be to make it like they do on bottles of medicine. You know how you can peel on the bottom right corner and it it makes it so there's stuff on the bottom. That would be great for food, because if consumers don't understand what's on the front, they can peel that back and they can look at the instructions and make sure that they fully understand what's in the product. Today I have shown you how bad our labeling system is. I have done this through showing you the problem, the cause, and then some solutions. We need to change our attitude about labeling so we can make our society more sustainable. We need to worry about our health instead of complying with companies who just want to make a profit.